Should John Mara hire Bill Belichick to be the next head coach of the New York Football Giants? Giants legend Amani Toomer thinks so, as he was on ESPN Radio New York this morning pushing for Belichick to be the next head man for Big Blue. My question to you before I share my thoughts and we react to the quotes that Toomer had is this. If you could pick one of these guys to be the big man on campus next year, is it Brian Daboll? Is it Bill Belichick? Let me know your thoughts right now. Welcome into New York Giants Now by Chat Sports. I am your host, Marshall Green. I appreciate everybody for stopping by as we react to what Mr. Toomer had to say about Belichick being the next guy for the New York Giants. I'm going to go over some pros and cons of Bill being the head coach, and I'll tell you where he ranks on my list of potential Brian Daboll replacements if he does get fired. This is what Toomer said on Belichick. Quote, "If I was John Mara, and I'm looking at the way the organization is looked at throughout the league because of the hard knocks embarrassment, the embarrassment of Saquon being the runner-up and odds-on favorite to be the NFL MVP. And then you look at like the Giants organization and half of these players that leave are better off than they were. We're talking about how they relish the fact that they're no longer in this locker room anymore. There's something going on wrong with this organization. And it's the way that players aren't able to thrive. It should be very concerning. And look, I agree with Amani Toomer that the New York Giants are the laughingstock of the NFL. And Toomer would go on to talk about other reasons that made sense for Belichick to be the next guy for the New York Giants. He talked obviously about the success he has had, how he really runs a tight ship, how he's not afraid to move on from players if they are failures early on in his career. And really, with you being in the spot that you are, which Toomer and I agree on, really you're the laughingstock of the NFL, hiring Bill Belichick, who is known as the best coach in football history, would make you a more serious franchise. You're not going to be the clown show of the NFC East anymore. Will you still have a bad roster? Yes, but we've seen Belichick before, and Toomer has talked about this. He knows how to get every ounce of juice out of a roster. He can turn a bad-looking roster into a team that can compete at the top of their division. And to be honest with you, I don't hate the idea of hiring Bill Belichick as the head coach of the New York Football Giants. And that is also what they talked about on ESPN Radio this morning, because Toomer acknowledged, and as everyone knows, Belichick hasn't had much success outside of Tom Brady, even though he did take Mac Jones to the playoffs. Saying also Bill Belichick has struggled when he became that de facto GM and really was the head decision maker, especially in the NFL draft process. And that's why I really do think there are pros and cons to making Belichick the next head coach of the New York Football Giants. Reason one, and pro number one, though, he's the best to ever do it. He's the GOAT. He is the guy that if you are probably trying to, in a theoretical situation, win a football game, you want Bill Belichick being that head coach for a long list of reasons. And we're not going to go too deep into why Bill Belichick is the best. We know why. 6 Super Bowl wins, the most ever. 31 playoff wins, most ever. 333 regular season wins, second most. 3-time coach of the year and 17 division titles. This guy has done almost everything you'd want, if not everything. And we know that he is a great head coach. But I also worry a little bit, has the game passed him by? Can he still relate to these younger players? It is a different generation. It's a different time in the NFL. And I also think that the recipe for success and winning has been tweaked a little bit. And he's also going to be 73 years old in the month of April. This is a guy that people call hard to work with. This is someone that it is his way or the highway. And when you have had success in a league like this to the degree that Belichick has, you're going to do it your way because it's worked out for you the entire time and it's yielded better results than anybody else. But the results without Tom Brady in New England haven't always been that special. He is 47-57 in games without Tom Brady. And I'm going to be honest with you. I think that's pretty damn impressive because outside of Matt Castle, there really hasn't been that special of a quarterback to play for New England under Bill Belichick. And I don't even think we can consider Matt Castle to be that special of a guy. So I worry if the game's passed him by. I worry that maybe it was all Tom Brady. I don't think that is exactly true, but I do think about that a little bit. And I worry if a 73-year-old head coach can relate to a locker room full of younger players, as it feels like the average age of NFL players continues to get younger and younger and younger as this league gets older. I have more worries, but I also think there's more positives to Bill being that guy. We'll talk about that around the corner and ultimately my decision of him as the next guy for the Giants. But first, I got to give a major shout out to our proud sponsor, Game Time. Look, if you're going to a Giants game this year, you better make sure that you get the best seats for the lowest price guaranteed and save yourself $20 by using that promo code ChatSports. All first purchases only, and of course, terms do apply. Game Time is the only ticketing app that I use for a long list of reasons. Prices drop as the events get closer. You get to see your seat view in the app. You get to access your tickets from your phone, and if you decide last minute that you don't want to go to the game anymore, or you don't want to go to the concert or the theater event or the comedy show, it is very easy to resell your tickets as well. But the main thing is you get the best seats for the lowest price guaranteed. Also, prices drop as the events get closer. So if you're a procrastinator, kind of like I am, you're going to love Game Time. You'll also love these two features. All-in pricing. The price you see is the price you pay. And the Game Time Picks feature makes it that much more easy to go see who you want to see at the lowest price. So download the app. Create an account and use that promo code ChatSports. That's ChatSports and get $20 off your first purchase where terms do apply. What time is it? Game time. All that information is clickable down in the comments and description of today's show. Probably my favorite reason outside of bringing in the best coach to ever do it, hiring Bill Belichick gives you an identity. Because right now, you don't have an identity. I've watched every game. I've watched every snap multiple times for the last 3.5 seasons for the New York, 4 seasons at this point. If we call it 3.5, we're halfway here. You have no identity. And now your identity was Saquon Barkley. He's no longer on this team. Who are the New York Giants? I don't have an answer for you. If you hire Bill Belichick, you're going to be a hard-nosed football team. You're going to be prepared better than anybody else out there. You're going to have a toughness about you. There's going to be a winning feel and dynamic in that locker room. But most importantly, you immediately become one of the best run defenses and overall best defense in the National Football League. Whether Belichick can coach offense anymore, whether he can find someone to coach offense, whether he can work with anybody else, that is absolutely a worry. But I have no worry at all that he could still coach defense. And I still think he's the best defensive mind on the planet. I do believe that. And I think he can come over and still have this Giants defense or get this Giants defense back to one of the top in the league and continue to run his defense at a high level. Bill Belichick in New England finished top 10 in scoring defense 18 times since 2001, including every year from 2012 to 2021. And they were the 11th scoring defense in 2022 and 15th in 2023. You hire Bill Belichick, and the Giants become a team that is once again looked at as the top defense, a top defense in the NFL. And that's when they won all those Super Bowls. Get you back to having an identity and really a brand of football that can really continue to stack W's. My biggest thing is, can he work just as the head coach? Will he work as just the head coach? Because I do not want him as the general manager of this football team. I don't, and he cannot. There is not a way in the world that you can have him making personnel decisions, or really the only one that can make these decisions or override decisions. Do I want him having a say-so in the players that can come play for this team and the players that add to this team? Absolutely. But the history and the long list of recent acquisitions the Patriots have made show you that he probably shouldn't be the one leading the charge of signing free agents and making trades and coming up with the draft strategy. Can you find someone, though, that will work with him? Is there a GM that wants Bill Belichick to be their head coach? Is there a head coach that Bill Belichick wants to be his GM? I think that's a worry. And then I also wonder, can he build a staff anymore? Or is he just going to call Matt Patricia up again? Is he going to bring back McDaniels all over again? Is he going to just bring all the people from New England to New York? And, well, that's not the worst idea in the world. I just wonder if he has evolved. Can he evolve? Does he need to evolve? There's a lot of worries that I have with Bill Belichick. But at the end of the day, I do think there is a lot of good. And I think that there is a way where you can make it work. Question is, for how long? I don't know. What do you think? Should the Giants hire Bill Belichick as their next head coach? Type Y for yes, type N for no. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section. If Brian Daboll is fired by the New York Giants, which I think the Giants should fire Joe Schoen, and the following move after you fire GM is to fire the head coach. I don't want Brian Daboll to be forced on the next general manager. So it's really a follow-up move and the main move of removing Joe Schoen. So if that does happen, Bill Belichick is number 2 on my Brian Daboll replacement list as we do film this video at the beginning of December. He just interviewed to be the next head coach for the for North Carolina and the Tar Heels. I think he still really wants to be a coach. I think he is desperate to be a coach, and I think he wants to prove to everybody that he could still do it. I got Mike Vrabel number 1 right now. I got Bill Belichick number 2, and I don't know who at this moment I have as number 3. It might still be Brian Daboll. Make sure you are following me on social media. I'm on Twitter. I'm on IG at @MarshallGreen_. Same handle on both sites. So hit me up, hit that thumbs up icon, and subscribe. And let's go Big Blue.